Hey, and welcome to Out of Hiding, a podcast where we focus on growing in God by seeking His truth. Hosted by Dan Morrow and David Flores. Mike, thanks for coming on today.
No, thank you guys for asking me.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the invite, you know. It's one of them long anticipated deals.
So let's clear that up, because I know everybody wants to know how we pick our guest. And so one of the mistakes that I made early on is I invited somebody and told them way in advance. And so they have too long to think about it. And it kind of goes against what we want out of the podcast. And what we want out of the podcast is just authenticity and just, you know, be led by the Spirit of God and just let it flow, right?
Right.
And so if you give them too much advance, then they try to overthink it and they get nervous and they do their thing. But the other reason we just kind of pray about it and invite us whatever. And sometimes you just get on because someone else canceled.
Right.
And that's you. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I'll take it.
I'm totally kidding. No, he mentioned this and the other, and I was like, "Yep, let's do it."
No, I greatly appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah.
You know, like I say, and like I say, I did say I anticipate, you know, waiting patiently. Yeah. But you know, no.
So give us the full introduction. Who is Mike?
Well, Mike Popchoke grew up in Box Springs, Texas. Parents still live in the house I grew up in. Well, my mother passed in 19, but my dad still lives in the house I grew up in. Went to West Mesquite, or graduated from West Mesquite High School. Got into auto paint and body, believe it or not, and done that truck customizing, stuff like that for a little bit. Found out that wasn't my knack.
We'll have to skip.
Done that for a little bit. Really wasn't passionate about it. From there, got into HVAC. Done that for almost 15 years. It's kind of a dog-eat-dog world with the HVAC industry. I had a buddy come to me and say, "Hey, have you ever thought about general contracting?" From there, I thought, yeah. And at this time, I'm, I guess, around 20, 21, somewhere.
All right. At that age, where were you spiritually? Where was God in this picture?
Well, we can back way up on that. Okay. So I guess it's right around that time frame. 18, 19 is when I met Paula. And how I met my wife, Paula, she worked with my mother. And I didn't go to church. My mom, you know, I believe she told me about God, heaven, hell, stuff like that. But we never went to church. And met Paula because she worked with my mother. And I cannot tell you how many Snickers candy bars I bought trying to get the woman to go out with me. I would go up there just to buy a candy bar so I could talk to her. Yeah. But anyway, she finally invited me. She goes, "Why don't you come to church with me?" I said, "Okay, well, what kind of church, you know, what do you go to?" And it was a Pentecostal church.
Let's go.
So that's what I said. I called my buddy up and I said, "Hey, Tim, we're going to watch some snakes tonight." Yeah. You know, I wasn't deep in, you know, my walk with God and all that. So I said it jokingly, but you know what? I got sucked in from there and found my love for God, and it continually, you know, I mean, to this day, it's still growing. But that was one of the first times I stepped foot in church because we were going to watch.
So what did you think when you walked into a Pentecostal? I grew up in Pentecostal church. Mm-hmm. So to me, it was just as normal as whatever. But at that age, you know, you've already got some life under you.
Right.
What did you think?
Well, I was disappointed because they didn't have snakes. But it was to this, I mean, Pentecostals, you know, they dress a little different, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, their goal is the same.
They love God. Right. And they want to move closer to God.
100%.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's what really got me because they were all inviting, you know, all loving. Yeah. And all shared the same goal. And so that aspect, I think, is what really started drawing me closer. Paula's parents, you know, they all attended. her siblings attended. So, it was a close knit. And that's something I didn't ever experience other than my mother telling me, hey, believe in God and go for
Believe in God, but was there any emphasis on relationship with God?
No, not
So when
growing
did that
up.
when did that start?
That started with my wife, Paula.
Okay.
And from there, I kind of went through a low, a down, I wouldn't say a downward spiral, but I was still young. And it was a new obstacle for me. I say because a lot of people have trouble going to church. I mean, am I going to be judged?
Sure.
How are they going to look at me? Am I going to fit in?
I think there's more people than we realize who have a fear of even walking into a church building.
100%.
They try to hide it with jokes and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But
Snake
the
jokes.
inside, there's always something there that's like, that's really happening with them because they feel so distant, don't deserve it, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, welcome to the club.
And that's what I went through.
So everybody has the same pain. That's but we're all tricked to think we don't.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. And I went through that when her grandmother and grandfather passed away. Different pastor came in, and it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
And at that time, we had moved to Forney, and we started going to another church. Well, that's where I kind of hit my low with church, because I got to thinking, man, do I fit? Is this really me? And I would go to church, but I'd catch myself outside.
How long was that? Like, was that a year that had passed? Was it 6 months? Was it 2 years? What was the time frame? I'm just curious, and I'll tell you why.
It was probably a year and a half, 2 years.
So would it be fair to ask this question? Do you think that you started to wrestle with the idea that maybe you were going to church for Paula and not for you?
That was at the end of it, after really starting to talk to God and everything. That's what I was shown. You got to be in it for yourself.
There you go.
Not for your spouse or your buddies or whatever. You got to be in it for yourself. He's here to bless us, but we got to do our part too. And doing our part, satisfying somebody else is not satisfying God. And so that was what I found out.
So after that lull, you're in the lull. What now? Is that where you started to personally evaluate you?
Yes. And one of the things I said, on one of my talks with God was, God, what is it? Why do I feel this way? Why do I not want to be around people at church? And that's when he revealed, you gotta, it's for you.
Yeah.
So from there, it was a totally different change, because I was like,
Where are you going to church at in Forney?
we went to Free Life.
Ain't no life like the free life.
Yeah, that's what they say. And
It's good.
but that was, from there we started moving. I started moving forward and pursuing God for myself.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it for others.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
What that, Mike, if anything, what that change in you, or what that do to you when you're like, all right, I got my faith for everybody else, but then you made it personal, and it was about yours and owning it. What what that do?
it really, because God, we can't see him.
Yeah.
And it really deepened my walk with him.
Yeah.
And made me want to pursue him even more.
Yeah.
Even how I interacted with other people, So I say, and overall, it was a deepened change in a personal growth
Yeah.
situation.
Absolutely.
So I was right around, Bud was already born when I went through that. And that was part of another reason, is like, hey, I want to live a good life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to live a good life. I want to live a godly life, because that was when we had our son. I wanted to be a good role model because my previous years before I met Paula, it was pretty rocky.
Yeah.
But anyways, as we pursued and moved on from there, That's when I started general contracting. And, before that, I'd always had an hourly job. And I'd prayed to God. That was one thing I prayed about. And it was going to be general contracting. It was going to be basically, hey, if you don't sell anything, you're not getting paid, So presented it to God, went to Paula. She's one that, no, we need to have this coming in. We can't miss nothing. We've got to have this.
So you felt entrepreneurial, and
Yeah.
she felt like that was going to rock security.
Right. But it wasn't what I thought she was going to say. Because when I went to her and told her, hey, got this job opportunity, it's basically, I've got to get out and hustle and make the money, If not, we're not going to eat. And she goes, son, if that's what you want to do, I'm all for it. And I mean, God just opened up the floodgates, and it was been a major blessing to us in our family.
So how long have you been GCing?
I guess since around 2014, 2015. So, yeah, right around
10
there.
years?
Yeah, about 10 years. And, of course, with construction, we do a lot of construction stuff, a lot of outside stuff. So it's got its ups and downs.
Absolutely.
So one of the things we haven't talked about really that I remembered on the podcast is the interaction between a business owner and the decisions and God, how all that works. So I'd love to hear your perspective on that. I'd love to hear how you as a business owner, entrepreneur, general contractor. By the way, general contractor in the Greek is translated liar.
I believe it. Well,
some translations even say thief, but
Yeah.
most of them just stick to liar.
yeah, it just plain and simple.
No,
liar.
I'm kidding. I was a contractor.
Yeah.
So you're in light company here.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Contractors in general, most of them have a bad rap, especially roofing, which I was doing a lot of. Have a bad rap. When you go up to the door, knock on it. 'Cause
Cold call.
We used to do a lot of cold door knocking.
Yeah.
You got to have some thick skin because you never know what's going to be said or what's going to be done, and from there. So, one thing that I would always do is, because my walk with God, I would pray every morning before I go out, and even before I knocked on a door or met with a customer, even if I had a scheduled appointment. God, let me say the right things, put the right person in front of me, let me meet the needs that they have.
Yeah.
So that become a natural deal is, the talk, just a short prayer before I meet with somebody, pray about it. So hopefully that answered your question a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna walk this out, if you're gonna be a Christian, he's a friend, he's a father.
Yeah.
He can lead and guide you. He's got more wisdom than I got, but he can sure instill it in me.
So what you're saying is God's just not blessing you with church stuff, like we get at church, but he's available all the time in the business,
100%.
in the relationship, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think some people, I think it's just natural for us, right? As humans, we compartmentalize everything.
Yeah.
God, and I know this sounds whatever. God fits in this box over here.
Yeah.
This over here, though, is, business and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. And what I hear you saying is that no, he's here for all of it.
Right.
He's here for all of it. And he's concerned and he's with
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, not concerned is a word, but he's close.
Hang on just a second.
That
Pause.
wasp-
We're going to pause this real quick.
That wasp's going to get somebody.
Yeah, he is. I'm fixing to get him.
Especially now when you're
He's on the hook.
I missed him.
dang, Dan.
Shag carpet.
I heard him like a jet. Zoom.
Well, I saw him and I'm trying to not focus on the wasp, when he flew by.
Dude, we were.
Did he sting you?
No, he didn't.
We were in
You
the
got
RV the other day, and Walker went to the front of it.
Yeah.
He went and peed in the front, and then my sister walks around, and he's like, "Ow!" He's just going like this, and she goes, "What happened?" He said, "Mosquito bit me.
Yeah.
Mosquito
Oh,
bit me."
boy.
Well, it was a wasp that stung
Yeah.
him in his hand. I was so proud of him. He was so tough. He was just like, I was like,
Put a
dang,
little
dog.
tobacco on it.
Dang, dog. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You took a shot right. You took a shot right to the hand.
The coolest moment ever as a substitute teacher, taking the STAR test. So all the kids are dead silent
Yeah.
in the back of the room supervising, and I just start to notice a bunch of kids looking up at the ceiling, and there's a wasp. And so, everybody starts to quietly whisper about the wasp. And so I grab some scissors off of the desk, and I walk up to right under where it's at, and I just step on the desk and cut the wasp in half. Massive applause.
Yeah. Miyagi.
Takes
All right,
talent.
guys, the great wasp interrupted us, but we dealt with it. Anyway, you guys were sorry about that.
No, yeah.
So along with what you were saying is, a lot of people sometimes put God in this box.
Yeah.
And, I guess how he showed me one day is, I remember where I was at. We might have been at the lake or something. And it was one evening. And we were just sitting there, and I was looking around. I'm like, man, God created this, And then from there, it just, everything I have is because of God.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't want to separate him from anything, because what I got, what I have, even right now to this day, it's not because of me. It's because of God.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes all the way back to what farm animals we have, to my wife, to my son, my parents. I mean, I couldn't do it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why.
Mike, that sounds so easy, Mike. So tell me, what are your prayers when you're getting started? Because listeners, they may be like, man, Mike, I'm doing the same thing. I'm praying. I'm going to church. I'm trying to have this relationship, but it's not working for them. How did it work for you? What was your prayer?
My
everybody's
prayer,
different.
My prayer is very simple. The main thing is you got to give. My prayer is very simple. God, every morning I wake up, lead me in the right direction, put the right people in front of me, And of course, I'll pray over my health and stuff like that. But
that prayer is a prayer of surrender.
yes,
So basically, you're saying not what I want today, but what you want.
that's the main goal. Because when you put yourself in control over it, you're taking him out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to surrender, and to me, that's a daily thing. Because we're human.
Yeah.
We're going to do what satisfies us. In return, we need to be thinking about what satisfies him.
How hard is it? And I know my take on it, and it was extremely hard for me, but as a contractor, you get exposed to things that really, really are hard. For instance, what you think you're given as a product don't end up meeting the expectations of your client, and then they're mad and they're screaming at you, and you feel like you met their obligation, they feel like you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is that to still maintain your Christian value and your Christian walk and not want to kill people?
There again, you run across a lot of different people. And
A lot of characters.
Some
out
of
there.
them are ill will anyways, and they want to take advantage of somebody. I've made some losses on some jobs just because at the end of the day, it's not worth the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, you can come around to talk to somebody. The biggest thing is keeping your temper, because deep down, hey, they're trying to take advantage of me.
Yeah.
But just having a calm, collected conversation a lot of time will fix, because sometimes it's just a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
So it's a hard approach.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest thing is knowing who you are and what you have to offer, and knowing that you done the best job that you could have done for that customer.
Mm-hmm.
And there again, I firmly believe if I do everything like I feel like I should for God, he's going to take care of it.
Mm-hmm. So you being intentional about your work actually being for him, not for the client.
Right.
So
and yes, because there again, it goes back to you can't really satisfy a human being, you know. But if you're doing his work with what he's given you, your abilities and all that, it's going to be a good.
It tends to all work out, don't it?
Yes, it does. And in the long run. And even once, because everybody faces challenges, whether you own a business or not.
Yeah.
Everybody faces challenges. And I tell my wife all the time, if we have something come up, one of the first things out of my mind or out of my mouth, hey, we're King's kids. He's got us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not going to bring us through something that.
How often do you say that?
Once a week. No, I'm just kidding.
About every no. You know, it's that is something on top of my list, because even for my boy, you know, I mean, he's young, he's 23. You know, I tell him all the time, remember, son, you're a King's kid. And to me, that does several things. It'll hold him at a higher standard. And two, lets him know, hey,
Well, you're assigning a godly identity.
Yes.
Every time you say that, you're enforcing that godly identity of who he says he
yes,
is.
right. So, you know, that it has some power behind it, you know.
Okay, so you're general contracting, and one day you show up at Radiant. Tell us about your first day at Radiant.
So when we first, I guess we had been watching Radiant online for almost a year before we decided to visit. And I told my wife, because we had served so much at our previous church, I said, hey, I just want to sit back, get fed, and you know, enjoy church.
Absolutely.
And so we came, and it was on
Friends Fest.
Yeah, it was a Friends Fest. And
10 out back.
Yep, I had old,
over here.
old 10 out back.
Yeah.
It was.
No, this time it was right there. It was right there on that corner, wasn't it?
Well, we had some photo ops and stuff like that set up over here.
Yeah. I thought it was because we were out of the building.
That was right around that time frame. So we came for a little bit, maybe 1 or 2 weeks, and we did set. We didn't, you know, do much, but I told my wife, hey, let's not just jump right into something. So the second or third week, right around Friends Fest, we show up. And, of course, we show up early. So we come around the corner, and I see somebody needing help setting up something. Well, automatically I jump in and help. And they were like, man, we need a drill. So hang on, I got one in the truck. You know, so I go to the truck. And I think your wife was like, are y'all a vendor here? Or, you know what? It's like, no, we just started attending, you know.
Yeah.
And then in that same day, I think it was, you had asked for, what was you, help with doing something or volunteer?
You helped me and a group of others, but I distinctly remember that the first time I met you, you were helping me stack chairs at the end of it.
Yeah.
They were those little flat chairs. We were
Yeah.
stacking them on them carts.
Yep.
And I introduced myself, and you introduced me, and I just watched you. I was like, man, I don't know him. And he is working his butt off.
Right. And that's just me. I want to be a servant, you know, and that's I want to serve people and the Lord as much as I can. But Pastor, you asked, I can't remember what it was exactly what you asked, but I was like, hey, sure, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'll help, you know. And my wife, she nudges me. She goes, I thought we was going to just lay back and take it easy. I was like, no, I mean, when you feel the pull of God, you just got to jump in. So I'm not going to hold back on that. And so that was kind of and from there on, I mean, you see where we are today.
Yeah.
You know, I just do whatever he asks me to do. And getting to serve with you guys it's just amazing.
Serve.
Serve.
I think you said that 40 million times. And
what does he call us?
I don't know that I've ever
that-
met somebody with a more of just a pure servant's heart. 'Cause
Absolutely.
that was going to lead into the school of ministry, you know, when we were learning the gifts. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I think the first one that came out of Earl's mouth was, Mike, stand up. You know, and I mean, it was immediate. Everybody knew your gift. And everybody was like, well, yeah, that's Mike.
Yeah.
And tell me about kind of the school ministry and how that kind of helps you in your walk.
You know, it helped in several different ways. One, not only digging deeper and finding out more about the Bible, but your personal health. And, God give us natural things to help take care of us.
Yeah.
So the wisdom from coming out of the class and knowing just biblical standpoints has been amazing. Even the values that were taught in the class, didn't really think about. And at the end of the day, it's simple, So just following that has deepened my walk even more with God.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we're all hungry for.
Yeah.
And being in the school of ministry was definitely a blessing. With all the knowledge that come out of it.
Yeah. I think the biggest for me was like how easy it is. The Holy Spirit, man, that was, I know you probably.
You start talking about that and, they're talking about your little boy or your little girl. I mean, that's simple because it just puts it in perspective because you've got something inside of you that you feel. But then when you look back, that's your little boy,
That's the one that hasn't been tainted by the world and all the events and all the things that happen. Yeah. And to be able to freely hear from him on that
level,
simple level, oh my gosh, it's life changing.
And that's, like I say, that was something that just amazing, and being able to realize, take you back and bring joy back into your life again, because the older we get, the more we tend to forget about things and not look back.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a big blessing in the school of ministry.
Yeah. Are you planning on going back again? Or are you going to take a little break?
I would love to. Time is the deal now. We've got our plates pretty full.
Yeah.
Because by all means, if we didn't, which I can't really use that as an excuse, because if he calls me back, of course I'm going to go
for sure.
But at this time, I just don't. We'd have to really make some time.
Yeah.
For it, I would do it 100%.
Yeah.
If and when he calls me back.
Gotcha. So now you're over there in Wills Point. So tell me what you do in Wills Point. I know you and Paula are pretty much stationed there now at this point.
Actually, I think it'd be easier if you just said what you didn't do.
What? Yeah, that's a better one. What do you not do at the church in Wills Point?
I'm kidding.
I see you got the parking, and then I see you running, fixing AC. I mean, what don't you do up there?
I wear many hats, and got some good guys that I'm under, and I just do whatever needs to be done. We're kind of over the Wills Point campus to make sure everything runs smoothly and flows good. Building facilities, stuff like that. Just all the operations. Team wise, we've got several teams that I'm over. Parking, safety. The list just goes on. Yeah, it just goes on.
Hanging out with people.
Sunday.
Yeah,
being with people.
Being with people, is the big thing, and that's what I enjoy.
Leading people.
Yep, 100%. And so, you name it, and I probably got my hand in it somehow.
If your hand's not in it, you know about it. Though.
I know about it.
You've heard about it.
Well, don't stop there. He still does a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
Especially facility-wise.
Yeah. And that's, that's another way that I want to serve, because at the end of the day, I want to make this man's job easier. I want to make your job easier. Even you, David.
I'm just trying to go to church, you know what I mean?
Well, and that's...
One day you might contribute.
There's
takers and there's contributors.
Right.
I just show up,
You've been a taker. No, it's all good. But that's one reason why I try to try to do what I do is to make everybody's job easier and be able to come to church and get fed, and not have to stress about, ooh,
Yeah.
did this get done, or who's over this,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think most people just don't know about that part of church until you're in it.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea. I'd show up and leave, and
Yeah.
nope, that was easy. And then you get in it, and you're like, okay, well, the media. I mean,
No, it just
All
all,
the things
it just
that-
all magically happens.
Yeah.
Any given week, me and Adam work about 4 hours.
that's what I thought, and I was like, man, they got the life.
Oh,
Yeah.
behind the scenes, I mean, there's so much that goes on that, even from Sunday morning, there's so much. That happens.
All the things like that you just barely scratched the surface on
Yeah.
that you personally are involved in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Making sure people are going to show up and be in their spot and do all that.
Yep.
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a thing.
And I think that's
you
why
do it well.
Me and
thank
Lacey started going to the church because when we first came, it was just it flowed so easy.
Yeah.
You'd get a smile and a handshake, walk as you park, and then it was just.
Years and years of faithful people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's what draws people.
That's
in.
also a testament to the vision,
Yeah.
right? Because obviously we know our starting point. Adam ran off all the people right off the get-go, all 12 of
I
them.
was like, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think this is
But
going to work.
God gave him a vision,
Yep.
and he started to implement the vision. And people they grabbed onto the vision, and all the other things were a product of grabbing onto the vision. Like if you
100%.
have the vision and you grab onto it, it creates the product.
Yep.
It's not the other way around. So many people try to create the product to try to get a result, but the result comes from the vision and attaching yourself to that.
Let's talk about that. So we have Mike and Dan. Your vision. How do you know? Okay, Mike's the person for the job. Obviously, I'm sure the Holy Spirit's guiding you.
I think you look for two things whenever you're talking about anything in church, that kind of thing. You look for, number one thing, faithfulness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are they faithful? Is somebody like already serving without like that
Being
this is
asked.
just who they are?
Yeah.
Like this is what they do. Like just faithful, God-loving people. And then the second thing you look for is ability.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have faithful people with a gifting and the ability to do something, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So Adam's always watching.
We're all over everybody's watching to see that right there. Those things. Those are the perfect ingredients to add to the culture.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's I don't think you lose with that, and you build relationship as it all goes and all that kind of stuff, and I think obviously the love for God, faithfulness, and ability.
Yep.
Because God's gifted everybody, right?
That's right.
Mike, you're going to be so good at things that I'm terrible at. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Dan's,
right.
and that's the way it works. And you put pieces in place, because at the end of the day, you don't need a bunch of Adams. That would be bad. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need a bunch of Dans. You don't need
That'd
a bunch of
even be
Mikes.
worse.
No.
That'd be worse.
You know what I mean? But what I'm saying
It'd
is,
get real bad.
you need the differing gifts that the Word talks about to come in, all work together to complement. Because at the end of the day, what are we doing? We're building the kingdom of God.
That's right.
And it's so much bigger.
It's so much bigger than any one thing, any one person. The beauty of it is when it's functioning right, it's effortless. Your gift picks up where mine stops. Your gift picks up where his and ours stops. Your gift picks everybody's gift. It works into this beautiful. It's like an orchestra. It's like a symphony, and God's just doing this, and people's lives that get exposed to it, it changes them forever.
Yep.
I think sometimes you get such in the hustle of it that it's hard to overlook that. What are we actually doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
we're not here to build a big church.
No.
I mean, if God sees fit, all that kind of stuff, we're here to be faithful to the call that He's placed upon this place.
That's right.
And leave the results up to Him. And it's people that come in and add to that. I get emotional. That's why I'm getting emotional right now.
If we remove the
That's
lights,
why I love this man.
Yeah. If we remove the lights and we remove the stage, we remove all the stuff. but we keep the heart.
Yeah.
The change in the beauty of what God does, it doesn't change.
No.
Like those are just cool tools, right? To grab the person that is not accustomed to this and hasn't had God move in their life. It's a cool tool. But the real content is the authentic Holy Spirit of God active.
Yep.
And he's going to use people to do it.
Yeah.
That's right.
He doesn't use fancy lights.
Yeah.
Maybe, but the people's, it's back to his earlier prayer of, hey, put me in the right spot today.
Yep.
Put them in my spot today. I'm yours. It's the same prayer that I pray every morning. Pray it a little different.
Right.
Probably not as eloquently as he does.
This old country boy, he loves
That's a
me for
common
who I am.
thing. I mean, if you go back, however many podcasts ago, that's the same thing.
Hey,
you
we're on
said.
30, by the way, guys.
Who said?
Wow.
That's the same thing you said, basically in the morning. You know,
Yeah.
that's the same thing you said.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's a common thing. You know, that's not.
It's gotta be
midway
harder.
through your day. You know, in the evenings, I feel like you guys started that way. You know, you started your morning, and I think that's powerful.
Some people think it has to be harder and more difficult than that.
Mm-mm.
And they're like, it can't be that simple. But it is that simple. In Jesus, it's simple. Like it's a pursuit. It's the daily pursuit of Him.
Yep.
Yep.
If you're daily pursuing Him, you miss all the ensnarements, and all the traps that Satan's always trying to set.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's so easy.
We make it a lot harder than what he set it out to be. But there again, we're human. We can't satisfy ourselves. We got to satisfy him. And then once you get that mindset, it's so easy. So easy.
And I learn a little bit from a win, but I learn a ton from a loss.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest losses in life have taught me the biggest things about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to forget that either.
No.
God.
And
that's
it's
good.
okay to fail.
Absolutely.
I mean,
that's
okay.
that's what I'm saying. Failure should be welcomed. And
Failure is not final.
No.
No.
No. It's just a step in your walk to grow. You know, I mean, you can't be afraid to fail, because if you are, then you already failed.
Yeah.
Do you know, I've heard of Satan, Riley may correct me if I'm wrong, he's sitting over there out of camera, but I think it was something like this. You want to know how you get immune to failure? You take little tiny doses of failure over your whole life, and one day you're completely immune to it. You don't care.
Yeah.
You just try. You go without fear, and you do what he says without fear of failure.
Yep.
And that doesn't happen without being okay with
That's right.
failure.
Yep.
You just have to be okay with it.
Yep.
That's good. Mike, what are you going to leave the people with today? What's something you want to say?
Don't overthink things. You know, I mean, God has put each and every one of us here on this earth in their own identity. And just wake up every morning talking to God.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to him throughout the day. Go to bed at night. You know, tell him how much you love him.
Yeah.
And thank you for everything that he does for you. Would be my biggest thing. And it sounds simple, but at the end of the day, it really is.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's about.
If God would have made this thing hard, we would have all been messed up.
Boy. Yes. Yes, 100%. Yep. So that's what I would leave them. You know, include God and include him in everything you do. You know.
And to start doing it today, don't clean. There's something about people wanting to clean up
Okay, clean
before they
myself up
start.
real quick. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, good luck. How many is it? Clean yourself up. Don't you think I would have cleaned myself up a long time ago if I was capable of doing it?
Yeah.
You
He's
know?
going to help you do that.
Start today.
Yes. Yep.
Love it.
So that's where I'd leave him. Leave it.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you guys. It was good.
Enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.